Hey, what's going on, vinyl community? It's Tone, and I'm back for the very last time, to do this type of a video. So it's a new Vinyl Finds video, but let's rewind a bit. If you remember last year, if you've been watching any of my past recent videos, I've mentioned a few times that last year I went on a vinyl or a music buying hiatus for about a quarter of a year, and that ended a couple months ago or so. And I'm not actually prepared to do a new Vinyl Finds of stuff that I've acquired after that hiatus or vinyl diet ended, but stuff that I had purchased before that I had never gotten to show or share. And I thought I'd gone through all of it, but when I was messing with, all the vinyl and putting things away and figuring out where they were going to go and making sure that everything was re-sleeved and things like that, I realized that there was quite a handful of stuff that I didn't share that I thought that you would find interesting and that you would appreciate seeing. So I figured I would do this one last new music finds of stuff that I acquired just right before my record or my music buying hiatus, or my what people call a vinyl diet, last year that ended a couple months ago. So again, everything that I'm going to show you is things that I purchased before I did that, which started last November. So let's get right into it, because there's quite a small stack, and I won't try not to be so descriptive so the video doesn't go so long. I'm a huge Texttones fan. I had a lot of the Carla Olson stuff and the Texttones stuff, but the two things I didn't have were this album, which is Midnight Mission, which is their debut, and this one right here, which is Cedar Creek. I think this is number 3, or is it number 2 in their discography? Anyway, these are the two I didn't have, and this actually completed all of my Texttones. Actually, the Texttones don't have a lot of stuff. It's Carla Olson that's got, all the stuff. And the Texttones were started by Carla Olson, late 70s. And, God, what's her face from the Go-Go's? Oh, I forget her name. Anyway, who ended up being in the Go-Go's. And they're great, sort of, just really good rock, a la Bob Seger style rock, with maybe a little tiny bit of a hint of 80s. So you might get some of that post-punk new wave really lightly infused in their music. Maybe like the Plimsolls is another great way to describe the Texttones. So I was able to pick these up and complete any and everything that, I needed from Carla Olson, who's fantastic. The most recent thing, and I didn't show that, I didn't think I needed to show it. The most recent thing I picked up from her was it was the greatest hits, or the best of, that she did with Mick Taylor from the Rolling Stones. It was all the stuff that she did with him. They had just reissued, it was on CD only, and then last year they just reissued it. I think it was last year. They reissued it on vinyl for the first time, and so I was able to pick that up. But other than that, that's it for Texttones and Carla Olson. Next thing I got is a album titled Hard Vibe, and it is by a duo band by the name of Taliban. And this is Taliban featuring Matt Nelson and Ron Stabinsky. Ron Stabinsky, of course, from the Meat Puppets. No, it's not anything like that. This is an absolutely brilliant, and I'll say it 2 more times, brilliant, modern jazz fusion record. It's pretty hard, and pretty fast, so much so that the lead horn is it's almost like if you took the hard bop stuff from the mid-50s and you threw it into a modern day jazz fusion ensemble. with a definite avant-garde or even psychedelic undertone to the music. That's what you have here. It is fantastic. Taliban with Matt Nelson and Ron Stabinsky. Ron Stabinsky is playing a brilliant jazz organ on this record. It's so good. This is probably, out of everything that I'm going to show in this video, this is the most highly recommended. So it's Taliban, like Taliban, except it's not dangerous. Anyway, Taliban with Matt Nelson and Ron Stabinsky. The album, again, is called Hard Vibe. Unbelievable modern jazz record. Super good. Super good. A couple pieces off of the International Anthem jazz label that I haven't shown yet, that I picked up. This is Brandy Younger and Desron Douglas. It's their duet album. Desron Douglas and Brandy Younger. Desron Douglas on upright bass and Brandy Younger on jazz harp, concert harp. So good. It's a beautiful avant-garde / contemporary jazz record. Not a smooth jazz record, totally different. Contemporary jazz record. A la maybe some early George Benson stuff, like early 70s George Benson stuff, like White Rabbit. When I listened to this the very first time, it reminded me, it kind of took me back to White Rabbit. It's jazz, but it's contemporary, so it's structured. It's got structure to it. And it's really good. It's so good. I mean, they both just feed off of each other beautifully. The album is called Force Majeure, and it is on International Anthem. Brandy Younger and Desron Douglas get this record. So good. They do about 3 or 4 covers. Like, let's see, what do they have on here? You Make Me Feel Brand New, Never Can Say Goodbye, This Woman's Work, stuff like that. And they do it really good in a great, non-watered down, but very easy flowing, easy listening, contemporary jazz style, but sort of avant-garde as well. Excellent album. The other International Anthem album that I got was, I have a lot of Jeff Parker stuff. And this is, I didn't have this one. This one came out, gosh, what year did this come out? 2020, but I didn't get it till last year. This is Jeff Parker and the New Breed. That's how they bill this record. Normally, actually, the album that was honoring his dad, what was called New Breed. And then this album, 2-3 years later, honoring his mom. And the album is called Sweet for Max Brown. Sweet for Max Brown, his mom, honoring his mom. And then they build the album, Jeff Parker and the New Breed. Great, straight avant-garde, modern fusion record with a little quirkiness to it. A little bit of, not psychedelia, but just a little bit of quirkiness to it. But in a really, how can I describe it? In a really serious way. Great jazz record. Great jazz guitar from Jeff. Excellent. I was finally able to pick up a clean copy of this. My dad had a copy when, I was a kid, and used to listen to it a lot. And since I love blaxploitation releases, I do have a healthy offering of blaxploitation stuff in the collection. And I was finally able to get the Together Brothers soundtrack. Barry White with the Love Unlimited Orchestra. Just what you would expect from an early 70s Barry White, or even something that you would expect from Isaac Hayes of that time. Extremely orchestral, extremely symphonic, deeply soulful, and because it is a soundtrack, there is vocal offerings, there's instrumental offerings, and it just flows beautifully. And the Love Unlimited Orchestra is absolutely a force to be reckoned with if you've never heard anything he's done with them. That was kind of his orchestra. He wrote and produced the whole thing, of course. And if you've never seen the movie, check out the movie, but definitely get the record. Excellent. I was finally, again, like I said, able to get a clean copy of this. And this is like 1972, I think. 1974. One other thing here in the mix is, God, what is the name of this guy? It's Rush Midnight is the artist, Rush Midnight. And Rush Midnight is a kind of a newer, I think he only has 1 or 2 releases out, modern synth pop artist. A la, like the LA band Cannons. If you're not familiar with Cannons, search Cannons on YouTube and listen to Cannons. I've spoken about them before. Or MGMT, Junior Senior, or Senior Junior from Scandinavia, type of synth pop. That may be a little more urban, but, or like, gosh, I don't know, things like that. So really good, extremely minimalistic, modern synth pop, excellent record. I believe it's called, oh gosh, what is the name of the album? I forget, but I'll leave a link below. This one, I actually have their, I believe it's their sophomore and their 3rd studio release, original pressings. And this one I had on my want list to look for an original pressing, but they're so expensive. And that's Pappo's Blues. Triangulo is the album, and this is the 2016 or 17 remaster of it. I picked up the remaster, and I'll probably get the remasters of the 2 that I already have that are original pressings. The way I justify that is if I have something that has the original mastering, then I will always, if I like the record, I'll buy the remastered version as well, because it's a little bit of a different sound. And if I want to hear a cleaner remastered version, I got a remastered version. If I want to hear an original mastering, then I can go back to the original. But looking for an original, this was able to, was inspired to pick this up by Mr. Carlson, Steve. He showed this, and I said, you know what, let me just pick up the remaster because I'll get it eventually. And fantastic Argentinian acid rock, blues rock. What I would say is I can definitely hear a Cream influence, and even more so than that, you definitely hear, I mean, I would bet money on it that he was a huge Black Sabbath fan, the lead singer. He almost, in his delivery, definitely, but almost there's almost in the way he delivers his tone is very Ozzy-ish. But when I listen to them, I immediately, when you listen to Pappo's Blues, especially the 3 albums from the sophomore on to this one, and maybe even the one after this I've only heard online, definite Sabbath influence. But just a beautiful acid rock, blues rock record from 1974. If you find the original, this is the remaster from 2016, I'm pretty sure, or 2017. And it's on the label that it's on is it's on Sony, but the original label is, I can't find it right now. Anyway, it's a collaboration between the original label and Sony, and that's who put out the remaster. This completed my collection of Exit records, which is a huge feat, seeing as how they only have 3 studio records. I had 2, and I think they only have 3. And this is their debut. Of course, headed and put together by Tom B. This is called Plight of the Red Man, and it's the debut record from Exit, X-I-T, Exit. Sort of a definite Native American folky influenced pop slash Americana rock. When you listen to this record, or almost all of their records, if you've never heard them and you maybe want to assimilate them to something, if you listen to Indian Reservation, by Paul Revere and the Raiders, it has that feel, but without so much of the pop sensibility, and definitely with more Native American folky influence to that. And the only other one that I have aside from the Exit records is an album by Tom B himself, the lead singer, and that was 1979. I think it's called Call Me Red, or I Am Red, or Call Me Red, which is a really good record. There are offerings. There are slight offerings of easier, lighter blues rock. So if that helps out in terms of the description. This is the Electric Magpie. That's the name of the band, and the album is Begins. This is I think 2014 was the release on Lollipop Records. Lollipop, right there. This is a modern pop psych album. Kind of Paisley-ish pop psych, modern pop psych album, 2014. This is the only album that the band has ever released. It is on vinyl. It is on audio cassette, and I believe it's on CD, I think. But Lollipop is one of the independent labels that was distributed through Burger Records. If you're not familiar with Burger Records was a very small but very successful independent label here in the Southern California area, just south of LA in Orange County, that moonlighted with a record shop. And it was a great record shop, but it was even a better record label. And they had some legal trouble with one of the owners. He did some pretty, not good things with, I guess, some of the employees or some of the people that they worked with. And so he was called out on that. And because of the bad publicity, they put an end to Burger Records. But if you can find anything that was distributed by Burger, or that was actually on the Burger Records label, it's a pretty good score, because 98% of their catalog was just really good. Everything from independent garage rock, brand new garage rock bands, to pop psych bands, just all kinds of great independent level artists that they gave a platform to. And they have an absolutely fantastic catalog. And so if you come across anything from Burger, chances are you should just grab it, because they're getting harder and harder to find. A lot of record shops bought out the catalog because it's just a lot of good stuff. So again, this is on Lollipop Records, 2014. Electric Magpie album is Begins, and it was distributed through Burger Records. So fantastic pop psych album, modern pop psych. Last but not least, I picked up, I think last September, I picked up the new Grouplove album, 2021 on Atlantic. Grouplove, if you're not familiar with Grouplove is a alternative rock band. When they started out, all of their albums are good. When they started out, they had a little bit more of a pop sensibility, not heavy, but a little bit more of a pop sensibility, but still they had a good offering of that really hard, alternative rhythm guitar. This album reminds me, and they've always kind of reminded me of like Jane's Addiction, and maybe because more so of the lead singer's vocal tone and his delivery, very Perry Farrell-ish. But this album has a lot. When I listen to it, I'm like, it just pulls me into Jane's Addiction. It's a really good record, really good hard alternative rhythm guitar. Great vocals, great lyrics. Still slightly popish, but you gotta kind of have to yank that pop appeal out of there, because it's not blatant whatsoever. Great alternative rock record, Grouplove, and the album is called This Is This. 2021 on Atlantic. And that's it. That was pretty quick, eh? All right, guys, I thank you very much. And the next time I do a vinyl find, it will be stuff that I actually purchased recently. So until then, thank you very much. Look forward to the comments. Look forward to the camaraderie. And as always, God bless you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.